Rosie, who do you look more like? Mommy or Daddy? Mommy or Daddy? Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have a special guest today. Can you say hello? Rosie, my little sweet baby. Yeah? Today's video is gonna be super amazing. Today I'm gonna talk about my labor and delivery story. I got preeclampsia on the last week of my pregnancy, so I'm going to talk about that, and just overall how God blessed my labor and delivery, and God blessed us so much. So stay tuned, keep watching. It's gonna be so interesting and so amazing. I'm back, you guys. I had to go put my baby to sleep. The best time, mom's time, is when her baby is sleeping. So we are gonna continue this video. I'm so excited to share this story with you guys on how I delivered Rosie. I am a young mom. I gave birth at 20 years old, so it's exciting and so amazing that I'm able to share this with you guys. My experience, me getting preeclampsia, which wasn't in my plans when I got pregnant, but I believe that everything that happens, it's all God's will. So I'm just going to share this with you guys. My whole entire pregnancy, I had no problems, no concerns, nothing. I had a very healthy pregnancy. I had morning sickness the first trimester, but towards the second trimester, my morning sickness ended. I felt good. My blood pressure was normal the whole entire pregnancy. I had no symptoms of anything, didn't have gestational diabetes. There was no problems. I was very swollen throughout my entire pregnancy, maybe because it was hot, it was summer, so that was not the funnest thing, but I survived. It was okay. I didn't have any problems other than that. I did get, what's it called, muscle cramps once in a while. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like when you pull a muscle, that feeling. I had that also towards the end, I think, of pregnancy quite often, where I'd feel like I pulled a muscle and my leg would just like hurt, and I would have to like sit and wait until it would go away. So I don't really know what it's called in English. In Russian, it's, I think, sudoroha. But in English, I'm not sure. But either way, I had that. But other than that, my whole pregnancy, I was really healthy. I felt good. Towards the end, I think from 36 to 40 weeks, my back started hurting. But that's because my baby was positioned. She was head down, but facing the wrong way. So that was putting a lot of pressure on my back, and my back hurt a lot. When I was 36 weeks pregnant, my neck started hurting, but this is totally not related to pregnancy at all. This was something I had from a while back. And I went to go get a massage, and I came in for a neck massage, and told the massages that my neck hurts, and she looked at me and she's like, "You're pregnant?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "How are you feeling?" And I'm like, "My back hurts." And she's like, "Okay, let's focus on that." But she told me that I could possibly go into labor after the massage, and I was like, sounds good, let's go, let's do it. If I might go into labor, I'm ready, I'm tired, let's do this. Yeah, we did a massage every week from 36 week till my 40th week, and nothing. My baby was like, They can make you feel, you know, better, but I'm not coming out. I'm not ready. So that massage didn't help me get, I guess, induced in a way. It didn't induce me, even though it does for lots of people. But the massage did help. So if you guys, anyone has very bad back pain towards the end of pregnancy, it could possibly be that your baby's just facing the wrong way and putting all the pressure on your spine in the incorrect way, and that's what was happening to me. And I mean, like, back pain, like, constantly, like, it just hurt. It was hard. So the massage helped. It helped a lot. She helped soften the muscles, or not, I don't know if it's softened, but I guess really my muscles were very tense because of the pain, and she made my muscles less tense. So it helped. The back pain got better. And we are back. We took a short nap. I had to wake her up because I had to go somewhere, and then we came back, and then we're gonna finish this video. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna try to do it together with her. So far, back in the day, I wasn't successful, but maybe I'll be successful today. Just wish me luck. We're gonna make a video together. Okay. We're gonna start at the beginning of our story together. At 40 weeks, I went to my regular appointment just for a regular checkup. Before 40 weeks, like I said earlier, I had no symptoms I had no abnormal symptoms or any complications in my pregnancy. Everything was perfect. I felt, for the most part, amazing. So when I went to my 40th week checkup, my blood pressure was high, a little bit high. Like, it wasn't very high. It was just a little bit above 140/90 maybe. So that's just like a little bit high. So when they told me that my blood pressure was just a little bit elevated, I was like, that's not too much. It's okay, you know, I'm big. I just walked here, so I didn't really worry about it too much. But they started worrying. The doctor came in, and she was a little bit nervous, and she wanted me to do some blood work, some urine test, and then she also looked at my feet, my hands. They were very swollen, but I was very swollen throughout my whole entire pregnancy, so there was nothing super unusual for me, at least. So I saw a different doctor, not my normal doctor, because my actual doctor, she was on vacation when it was my 40th week. So a different doctor saw me. She had me do a urine test, which it came back that I had protein in my urine, and if your kidneys and everything is functioning good, you don't have any protein in your urine, but I did, meaning that was not a good sign. So they wanted me to go and start getting induced to deliver my baby as soon as possible, because when you get preeclampsia, you're at risk to getting eclampsia, and the only way to basically deal with this is to deliver the baby. I wasn't ready for that. That was like kind of a shocker to me. So I called my husband, I talked to him, he was at work, and I didn't want to go to the hospital alone. And also I was already feeling like I was in pre-labor, like my back was hurting again really bad. My stomach, not so much. I didn't feel it hurting. And I wanted my birth to start naturally. I wanted it to go as naturally as it could. So I did not want to get induced at all. It was the last thing on my list was to get induced. So we talked with my husband. I went home. The doctor asked me to come back the next day to get my blood pressure checked again and leave another urine sample, do more blood work, and see if my condition is getting better or it's getting worse. I came back on Friday. It wasn't getting better. There was more protein in my urine now. My blood pressure was still elevated. So they wanted me to go get induced again. And again, my husband was at work and didn't want to go alone. So I called him and we decided that we were going to give another day. We were going to try to wait and see, just because I was already feeling like I was going into labor naturally. So I just wanted to wait another day. And then Saturday came and we prayed about it. We just gave it into God's hands and we said, you know, if it's meant for me to get induced and if everything was going to be okay, like, just we asked God to bless whatever was going to happen and just guide us and give us wisdom to know what to do. And I prayed for the doctors, I prayed for the nurses throughout my whole entire pregnancy, that God would give them wisdom so that I would be able to deliver my baby as safely as possible for me and for her. So I prayed throughout my whole pregnancy, and again, before going to the hospital, we prayed. We went back on Saturday for another appointment at the hospital already. They attached a bunch of monitors to my belly, and they were watching her heartbeat, how she was doing, and she was doing fine. Like, it wasn't affecting her as much as it was affecting me and could have affected me in the long term. So we were at the hospital, or when we went to the hospital, I decided to leave all my stuff at home. My hospital bag, all my clothes, because I knew that they would try to make me stay at the hospital, but I didn't want to, just in case I would have to. I wanted to go home to mentally prepare for that. So when the doctor told me that I needed to stay, I told them, can you just give me 2 hours? I'll go home, grab my stuff, eat a good lunch, come back, and then start getting induced. So I wasn't fully saying no to getting induced. I already put it in my head that, okay, if I need to, I will do it. I want my baby to be safe. I want to be safe. I want to be a healthy mom for her. And I don't want any long-term effects of preeclampsia. So I told them, they told me all of the things that could happen to me if I left. I signed the paperwork that I was going against doctor's advice. And we left. We went home. We got ourselves some food, ate a good lunch, grabbed our stuff, drank some tea with my siblings, and I headed off to the hospital to get induced. I came to the hospital at 3 p.m. They hooked me up to an IV, and I was on the IV from 3 p.m. till 12 midnight. And how it works is they start on you on a little dose of Pitocin, and then they increase and increase and increase and increase till the maximum dosage. So that's what they were doing to me for, I don't know, 13 hours or 8 hours. No, it's like about 8 hours from 3 to 12, about midnight. I was already at the maximum dosage of Pitocin and I wasn't feeling any contractions. When I went into the hospital, before they started inducing me, they hooked me up to the monitor and I was already having natural contractions about 5 minutes apart, but I didn't feel them. They were really, really light. So I was already in labor, like I said, like I felt like I was already in pre-labor. I was when I came to the hospital. At midnight, they decided to put me on the pill. I don't remember what it's called. It's a different way of inducing, but I also, before they switched me from the IV to the pill, I think 4 hours needed to pass. So I basically went to sleep for about 4 hours from midnight till 4. They woke me up and they started to give me the pill to induce labor, or to make it progress, however you want to say it. So they gave me the pill every 2 or 3 hours, I don't remember. They gave me 3 pills. And again, nothing helped. So Sunday morning, it was hard. 24 hours passed, nothing happened. I was starting to feel very, I don't know what you would say, like just very scared that I would need a C-section, because my labor basically wasn't progressing. My body wasn't reacting to Pitocin. I wasn't getting stronger contractions. Nothing was happening. And I was already there for 24 hours, basically like in a room. Like I walked out, I could walk a little bit, and then I had to go back because the monitor wouldn't read very good. So basically I was just stuck in the room. Couldn't leave, couldn't do anything. The good thing was I was able to eat, because originally I wasn't going to get the epidural, so I was allowed to eat. And so that was the only thing I could do, was eat and just hope that time would fly fast. During the day on Sunday, they put me back on Pitocin, so they restarted it. Little by little, increasing it. And again, no progress. At that point, I was really disappointed, really scared, and I broke down in tears. And I told my husband, like, they're gonna try to, most likely they're gonna try to get me to do a C-section, even though because nothing's happening, even though I'm okay. We need to get baby out as soon as possible. So I was hard. It was just so hard being in the hospital and nothing happening, and you're just waiting, and it just feels like forever. And I just gave up. I was like, honey, I'm sorry. Like, this is just mentally hard. I just cried. I let it out. I talked with him. He comforted me. How would you even say that word? That word is hard. Comforted me. And then I felt better. Also, I didn't know, but our parents, they asked the church to pray for us. I didn't know, but the way I felt that morning, the Sunday morning, and the way I felt later that day was like, I was two different people. In the morning, I was so just sad and scared and didn't know what to expect. And then during the day, I felt so confident and just so relaxed and happy. Like I was ready for whatever was going to happen. Like I just didn't have any fear in me, nothing. I just felt so at peace. Later on, my husband told me that our parents asked the church to pray. So honestly, I felt so much better once they prayed, even though I had no idea that someone prayed for me. This was Sunday. So all Sunday long, I wasn't making any progress. The nurses kept asking me, how are you feeling? And I was like, good. And they're like, that's not what we want to hear. We want stronger contractions. We want you to not feel good, basically, at this point. And I was feeling fabulous. Everything was good. The cool thing about my whole experience at the hospital was throughout those 3 days of me being induced, all the nurses that I had were perfect for me at the time that I was there. For example, the first nurse, she just kind of calmed me down. She was just so sweet, so nice. She told me that everything was going to be okay. Like, she just helped me kind of be okay with the thought of getting induced. The second nurse, on Saturday, I told her that my back hurt a lot, and she had me do many exercises to have my baby turn so that she would be in the right, facing the right way. And honestly, all the exercises that we did that day, my back pain went away by Sunday. So she turned and she was fine, and she was born perfectly, like normally how she was. What I mean by when she was facing the wrong way, her head was down perfectly, everything was normal, but she was facing the wrong way. So I don't know if you understand, like with her actual face, she was facing my back, so inward. And that was putting a lot of pressure on my back, and that's what was causing a lot of back pain. We were doing that all Saturday long, and she moved because the back pain went away and I felt better. And by Sunday, I was already feeling emotionally hard, just overwhelmed. That's the word I'm looking for. I was emotionally overwhelmed. But again, the church prayed and God put his peace on my heart. He blessed everything after that. Like, I felt it. I had no idea the church prayed, and I felt so much better. Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, like, I felt so good. I was like, you know what? Like, God's with me. Everything is good. I'm going to go take a bath. Like, I'm tired of just waiting and waiting and waiting. So I asked the nurse to pour some water into the bathtub. And she did, and I just laid down, turned on some music. I was like worshiping. Like, I turned on Christian music and I was singing. And I just felt so good. My husband went to take a nap because we weren't sure how this night would go. And I was just so relaxed and just enjoying myself. And my water broke. I just heard like a pop, like it was 2 pops, like one and then the second one. And I was like, uh-oh. And then after that, I felt very strong contractions, like almost immediately. So as soon as my water broke, my strong contractions started. Oh dang, like a minute before my water broke, I felt nothing, and then my water broke and I was like, whoo, like you could hear it, like I was in labor, like quick. My nurse came and she was like, uh-oh, what's wrong? Like, you were okay a second ago, what's wrong? And I'm like, I think my water broke. Something's happening, like, ooh. And then my husband woke up because, you know, I was in labor. They checked me. I was still not much progress, but the fact that my water broke meant that my labor was going somewhere. The doctor wanted to break my water the whole entire day on Sunday, but I just wanted to wait and wait and wait. I wanted at least something to happen naturally. So that's why they didn't break my water earlier. I waited. So once my water broke, my strong contractions started. I tried really hard to deal with them for about 3 hours. And then at the 3rd hour, I couldn't handle it anymore. So my husband was like, if you can't do it, get an epidural, like, it's okay. So I asked for the epidural. The anesthesiologist came in. He gave me the epidural. Like, it was all really quick. And after that, labor was just so easy. Yeah, I got the epidural at 3, and I was able to fall asleep. Me and my husband were able to take a nap. The nurse came in and she was putting me in different positions so that I would dilate faster, because I think I was at 4 centimeters when I got the epidural. And then when she checked me at 5 in the morning, I was 9 centimeters. 9, you guys. I was so surprised. Usually, or sometimes when you get the epidural, it slows down labor, but because I was already being induced for 3 days, I was 9 centimeters dilated. Like 1 more centimeters and we were ready to push. And I was like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna fall asleep. My baby is being born in an hour. Like, okay, like, and I was just almost in tears. Like, I was so happy. Serge was still sleeping and I was waiting for the doctor. And then about 6 in the morning, the nurse came in. She's like, oh yeah. And the nurse came in and she was like, we can start practicing pushing. And we did. We started practicing pushing. It was really, I can't say easy. Like, it's not even that it was easy, but I was so confident in my body. Like, I was so confident I could do it. It wasn't, it's, I don't know how to explain it. For example, like, trying to push a baby out when you are not feeling anything, that's really, I think, difficult. Like, but I was at such peace, and just, I wasn't afraid. Like, I never pushed before, I never gave birth before, but I just was so confident. Like, I knew I could do it, and I trusted my body. And I think that's the most important thing when you go into labor or when you are about to give birth. Just trust your body. Know that you could do it. Don't panic. Like, yes, maybe if you did get the epidural, you might not feel much, but just trust that your body is doing it already for you. So just in your head, think that you're pushing with your belly. And I heard this somewhere, that when you are pushing a baby out, just think in your head that you're pushing with your belly, and that's what your body's gonna do, even if you don't feel it. So that's what I was doing. When I was pushing, I was like, in my head, I was like, belly, belly, push with your belly, push with your belly. Like, aim all your thoughts on your belly, even if you don't feel it. And so that's what I was doing, and we didn't push for long. Like, we pushed a few times, took a break, pushed a few times, and I think the pushing stage was less than 2 hours, but it went by so fast, like, and she was out. I was so focused on pushing that I almost missed the birth of her. The doctor was like, open your eyes, like, she's out so you can see her. And I was like, whoa. Another cool thing was when her head just came out, they asked me if I wanted to feel her head. Oh man, that was the coolest feeling ever, to be able to feel her head before, like, I got to see her, that she's almost out. Like, every time I touch her head, like, I remember that moment. It was so beautiful. Like, I can't describe it. My heart like skipped a beat when I touched her head. It was like, this is real. I'm birthing a baby. I'm a mom. It was so cool, so crazy. Oh man, I can't. And yeah, my umbilical cord was very short. So when she was born, they put her on my lap. They didn't directly put her on my chest until they cut the cord. Once they cut the umbilical cord, they put her on my chest. And we had our beautiful, beautiful, like, hour. I think, yeah, the hour. It was so nice. What I remember though after giving birth was I really, really wanted to sleep. I was so tired. Like, I didn't feel like I did much, but when the doctors were, after they took her to measure her weight and length and everything, I was like sitting there and my eyes were just closing. I was falling asleep on the spot. Yeah, that's birth for you. I was falling asleep and I felt bad because I didn't, like, my baby was just born, but I couldn't. I was falling asleep. Well, after everything, and they gave her to me and I fed her and everything was good, they let me actually sleep, which was so nice. And yeah, that's our birth story. Throughout my whole entire pregnancy, I prayed to God to bless our hospital, to bless our doctors, bless the nurses, bless everyone involved in our delivery. And God blessed it so much. Like, the doctors were so amazing. The doctor that delivered her was so sweet, so nice, so helpful. Like, honestly, thinking back, my labor and delivery was so amazing. The only thing that was hard was 3 days of waiting. That was hard. But other than that, it was an amazing experience. Obviously, you have to recover for a long time. I needed to recover, just like any woman that has given birth. It takes a little bit, say like a month before you feel okay. But it was so worth it, and I'm so happy that I went through it. Yes, I'm a young mom, but I love it. Yes, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Nope. No. And I can't wait to do it again. To have another little baby. I love being a mom. To all of you pregnant women out there, it's amazing. Being a mom, it changes you. It does. It makes, I can't like even explain it. It pours out, or your heart starts feeling such love and affection that it never felt before. You only feel it to your baby. I've babysat so many children, nephews, nieces, kids, all kinds of kids, but no, your baby, it cannot compare to having your own baby. A little you. No, I can't. I can't. I can't. Being a mom is just so awesome. Just like being a baby. Yeah, being a baby is so awesome. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. Agu. Yes, yes, you love mommy's hair. I know you love it. I know. Yay. Yeah. May God bless all of you guys.